Hi everybody and welcome back to this channel. If you've clicked on this video, you have smacked bang head into rare roots of joy. This is a channel for plant parents or plant enthusiasts. I'm a plant enthusiast. This here is Storm, who loves to eat my microphone, so we'll have to see how that goes. And in today's video, we have a situation. So they say, lots of people say, that if you have a decent sized plant collection and if someone asks you if you have a plant with a virus and you say no, then either you are lying or you're stupid. Now I think that that's just a little bit harsh because I think the majority of plant keepers don't even really think about whether their plant has a virus or not. But I do think it is fair to say that the larger collection that you have, the more likely it is that you might run across a plant that has a virus. And I have a plant here that I do suspect has a virus of some description. Either that or it's got some sort of calcium deficiency. But I'd like to at least rule out that it does have at least two of the viruses that we can test for. So I bought a test kit. Now this test kit tests for the Cymbidium Moasic Virus and the Odontoglossom Ring Spot Virus. So we're going to test this plant today and at least try to rule out to see whether it has one of these two viruses. So if that's something you'd like to see, stick around. So I do only have one test kit here. So if I stuff this up, we're in all sorts of, no-go. All they can see is your tail. And the first thing I'm going to need, well, I'll tell you what I've got here. Obviously, I have the test kit. I also have a scalpel because I need to take a little bit of this plant off for the test. I have a pair of gloves, which I'll be putting on in a minute, and I have some isopropyl alcohol. And what I'm going to be doing is sterilizing this tool. I'm going to wait for this to dry. It will be able to be used. Okay, so I'm going to put my actually, I'm going to take a sip of my coffee before I actually start. Oh, bless you, elixir of the gods. So as I'm doing this, let me tell you why I think that this particular plant might have a virus. So first of all, this is a Phalaenopsis orchid. It was gifted to me, I think last year, maybe the year before. I think it was last year. I haven't had it a hell of a long time. She's growing in a medium of sphagnum moss in this terracotta pot. And if you actually look quite close, and I'll bring the camera in, I've taken some B-roll, insert B-roll here, where we've actually got some, I think it's called chlorosis or discoloration in the leaves, where part of the leaf is a lighter colour than the rest of the leaf. It's also bordering on the edges, but it's also through some of these leaves of the plant. And the other thing that I've noticed about this plant is one, maybe two leaves have got this weird situation where the cellular structure on top of the leaf has broken down. And it's not smooth, it's rough. It's not moist, it's dry, so that's good. But it looks really weird, and I've not seen it on any of my other Phalaenopsis orchids before. It's also a little bit on this leaf here. That leaf is getting old and it's, is it there? No, not really. But it's not affecting all of the leaves, it's only affecting some of the leaves. Now I wanted to wait to make sure that those flowers came out before I made another judgment. Typically, a virus plant, your blooming won't be fantastic, and I will say that this is not a fantastic blooming. That said, it could be because the Phalaenopsis orchid is fairly new to my collection. It may be that this was all it was ever going to produce, but the three flowers may be deformed, and that might be one way that you might tell whether your plant has a virus. These flowers are not deformed in any way. So again, that sort of leaves a question mark. Well, what is wrong with this plant? What is happening here? And I would like to rule out that this plant has at least the viruses that we can test for. Now, in Australia, these test kits are available through Burrito Orchids. I'll put their name on screen below. You can buy them through them. I bought this through my orchid club because we got a discount for a whole bunch of them. So I just waited till we had some at the orchid club and bought one there. But yeah, the distributor in Australia is Burrito Orchids. Now, as far as I know in Australia, these two viruses are the only viruses we can test for. That might be wrong. I'm not sure. It may be that you can, as part of your plant, sent off to a lab to test for other viruses. I haven't done the research on that, so take it with a grain of salt, but certainly for the home test kits, that's all we can test for. What am I going to do with this plant if it turns out it does have a virus? Well, to be able to transfer a virus from one plant to another, there needs to be a vector of some description, way for the virus to transfer from one plant to another. This plant lives indoors. It lives kind of by itself. It's not touching other plants. I never, ever, ever share water with this particular plant, with any other plants. So it gets a run under the sink. There is a little bit of slow release fertilizer in there, but other than that, this plant doesn't really touch other plants. Now, say a bug could land on this plant and then land on another plant and then transfer the virus that way. That is entirely possible. It's not like I'm short of a Phalaenopsis. Can you keep a virus plant? Yes, yes you can. Do we generally recommend that you do? No, we suggest that you throw it in the bin. If you are going to bin it, please do not put it in your compost bin. It will transfer the virus to the compost, and then that's a good way to spread it around to other types of plants. So this needs to go in the bin and keep this plant away from any other plant in your collection if you are going to attempt to keep it. So if it really means something to you, as I said, this was a gift. I can't even remember specifically what it was for. It might have been that someone just said, "Do you want this orchid?" And when someone says to me, "Do you want this orchid?" the answer is always going to be yes. So I don't believe that I got it for any special occasion, other than the fact that I suspect it might have a virus. This plant is growing fairly well. It's got roots galore. It loves its pot. I've got aerial roots coming out everywhere here. Plenty of roots in the pot. You know, I'm a bit disappointed in the flowering that it gave me this year, but that doesn't mean that next year it wouldn't put on a much bigger bloom show with good care. That tends to be what happens. So with no further ado, let's get started. So, as I said, if I stuff this up, then I don't even know whether I'm going to post this video or not, to be honest. Because, well, what have I done? I've stuffed up the opening of the actual test, is what I've done. Okay, so we have this particular thing here. We also have this test vial with some liquid in it, and we have a smushing stick or a grinding stick. So what I need to do, what the first step is to take off a 5mm by 5mm piece of plant. So it's like half a centimetre. So where am I going to do that from? Hello, Stormy. So I'm going to probably do that from one of these affected leaves, and I'd like to actually take the most effective leaf that I've got. Storm, why do you choose now to come up here? So I'm going to take this leaf here, which is what I can see is the most affected leaf by both the chlorosis that's going on inside the leaf and also this weird, you know, cellular breakdown roughness. I'm going to take it from probably a piece here. I'll just cut a piece of leaf off. There's no big deal. So I'm just going to cut off about half a centimetre of leaf. I'm using a very, very, very sharp scalpel. About half a centimetre this way. That's roughly half a centimetre here. So now we're done with that. Sterilise your tools, guys. That should not be used for any other plant. Again, that's how we transfer these viruses from one place to another. So I'm going to break this leaf up. Just going to fold it a little bit, and then I'm going to put that in there. And now I'm going to use the grinding stick because I have to grind. Essentially destroy as much of this as I can. Make it nice and green. Try to get all the greenness. So it'd be a lot easier if it had this grinding stick had something on the end of it that sort of broke up the leaf, but it's flat. So, hey, makers of the test, put some, you know, something that actually does smush the leaf. Because right now all I've done is really press it into the bottom of the test tube. So anyway, I am getting some green here. This actually is turning green. There we go. Throw that away. I'm going to put this back on here. I'm going to give this a good shake. Hopefully that will work. So now I'm going to open up this guy here and we'll see what we've got. We've got a test strip. Now I'm not going to put that down anywhere. I'm going to hold this in my little hand. So it does have the arrows pointing towards this way. So that will be the end that I put in the test tube. And then we're going to wait 15 minutes after it's sitting in the test tube. We have to wait 15 minutes. So right now I'm going to undo the lid. I'm going to put this in here. And now we wait. I'm going to come back in 15 minutes and we'll see what the result was. Well, it's now been almost 30 minutes, which is perfectly fine. We have between 15 and 30 minute window where we want to be able to leave our test strip gurgling away, and now we get to see the results. And the results on the test strip is that there's one red line. Now what does that mean? Well, that means that this plant has tested negative to the Cymbidium Moasic Virus and the Odontoglossom Ring Spot Virus. So that's great news. Now, a couple things. That doesn't mean that this plant doesn't have some sort of other virus I can't test for. But I'm a little more confident now than I was before. I'm not throwing this plant out. I'm going to keep her, but I'm still going to keep her segregated away from the other plants. Never share water. I'll probably beef up the calcium nitrate because some of this chlorosis may very well be a calcium deficiency. Tends to present a little bit like that. And I guess what's actually happening with this plant is still technically a mystery. So we'll have to, you know, keep trying, hopefully make her feel good about herself. So she's no longer destroying cells and showing chlorotic type leaves. I'm pretty pleased with that result. We can't be too careful when it comes to plants. And if you suspect your plant does have a virus, do know that at least in Australia, there are some $9 test kits, $10 test kits that you can purchase online, and you can at least put your mind at ease for those particular viruses, which are very, very, very prevalent in Australia. That's all I've got for you today. Thank you so much for coming on this journey with me. If you enjoyed this content, please give this video a like on the way out the door or stick around. There's some videos coming up on the end card that you might be interested in. I'll see you next time. Bye.